What's popping, brothers and sisters? What's happening? I pray all is well. I pray that you're in the land of the living, that you haven't crossed over. You know, obviously you can't be hearing this if that's the case. Still, just wanted to chop it up with my people because you know how we do. We just want to talk about some stuff. It's always personal. Your time, and when I say your time, I mean everybody. So there's a lot of folks who may find this to be not helpful, but I think this is really going to uplift their life. Number one, everything you do, you are involved in it. It's always personal. It cannot not be personal. It has to be. So because it's always personal, you should, I'm not going to say you should take everything personal, but you should look at it differently. Like this is you leaving your mark at this place or at this locale or in this venue. And you don't have a choice and you don't have the option of it not being personal. Uh this is one of those classical conversations where I'm gonna piff a little bit, talk, and we're gonna chop it. That thing that thing that bothers me the most is that people don't understand when it's personal is that even if this could have been anybody, it was me. Or okay, it could have happened to anybody, but it didn't happen to anyone. It happened to me, or it happened to you, or it happened to them. And until folks really understand the full consequence of that, we have nothing. I'm trying to tell you, nothing. I'm gonna pick this a couple more times. We'll put it out. It's a banana leaf. They got some new expensive good stuff for your boy. Oh, that's some good. Now, while I put this out and we talk about how it's always personal, just keep two things in mind, maybe even three, but these two for sure. The day is no longer personal is the day that is over. And number two, until then, everything is personal. And it's always your time. You're on your time. You're not on their time. Do you understand that? They may be able to only operate within those hours, but you don't have to be confined to that. And until you understand these things, brothers and sisters, you're always going to be held hostage at places. I had to walk away from the job I was working at. Plain and simple. Guy gonna come in and try to tell me what I'm gonna do, and I'm telling him I'm not doing that. I need you to get out of my workspace so I can continue to work, and we can continue to work. He apparently did not agree with that sentiment, and I told him, I said, "Hey, look, I'll go home, bro." He said, "Well, go home then." The ultimatum was either you get off my line and let me work, or I go home. So, put on my jacket, put my bag on, walked, clocked out, and left. I haven't been seen since, and they won't ever see me working there again. That's how that works. Because it's my time and it's all personal for me. I'm personally not going to be involved in the situation that I was involved in. And I'm not gonna disparage or say anything negative about where I was working at. There's just those are professional differences, but it affected me in a personal way. People are like, well, you just affected your money. Don't worry. I had a job interview today. We'll see how all of that shakes out the next couple of days. It's all my time. I'm on my time. You're on your time. If you want to go and chase millions of dollars, chase billions of dollars, chase trillions of dollars of their money, you go and you do that. I can't stop you. Really, I can't. I don't have the power or the agency or the desire or the will to stop you. But what I can say is that you're not going to put me in a position. You're not going to make me look bad, okay, based on what you want to do. Right on? That's how that works. Everybody wants for people to act like what they're doing is so much more important than what everybody else is doing. I'm gonna say it like this. If I'm on my time and you're on your time, we have to agree that we're both operating on our own time. So we have to meet where our times don't conflict, or we just have to cooperate and work with the situation. And no matter what comes up, we have to understand that because we're on our time, this is what it is. I love when businesses talk about labor cost and talk about, this, that, and the third. The hardest thing about working in any job are the menial tasks. Those are the most difficult things to get done. Because once you get the real stuff done, the sweeping stuff up, the cleaning stuff up, the spraying stuff and wiping it down, all those things don't seem as simple and easy as they were before you got burnt on your arm, before you cut yourself, or whatever may have happened, right? Or just tired of your coworkers type of shit. But it's always personal. This is why they say do what you love. But the thing is, and love what you do, right? So I love to cook. You know what I'm saying? So I do that the best I can. I don't always love the jobs that I have. I love to cook though. I do what I love by cooking the most. That's the most love and passion that I have. And everybody don't have that kind of passion for food like I do. But I could talk to y'all with talking about I ain't no chef or nothing, but I could talk to y'all about food for hours relentlessly. Been messing my money up. I was supposed to have bought a camera so I could just put the over the shoulder stuff. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I gotta figure it out. Maybe I have to do some stuff with my phone and get one of them sticks to hold my phone. I don't know. I have to figure something out. But I love food. I just want to show y'all like there's so many things that I know how to do that you could do at home and you would have a blast with your family, with your children, with your wives, with your husband, whoever, brothers and sisters. You get what I'm saying? Or just a near and dear loved one. Meals that maybe you don't eat it, but they do. Maybe they don't eat it, but you do. Maybe y'all both partake in this. Maybe you both don't. It's just information to give y'all, but it's personal. So I don't always give out what I feel like about me is the most personal things about me. You know, like I said, my love for food is like it's real sensitive for me. And everybody doesn't eat the same things and everybody doesn't believe the same things about food. So I can't even have that conversation with most people because it'll always come down to me having to, I won't say circumvent my beliefs, but I'll have to put them on the back burner, so to speak, while I let this person grandstand. Because for me, it's like, whatever. But still, a person has to know that it's always personal. You and this, let me go ahead and say it like this. No disrespect to Gentiles. They can't say that and it really have the same impact and effect. Because in order for that to you have to be a person. Right. Gentiles aren't considered people. So they can't be a person. They're not considered man. So when y'all get done talking, just because goats have sons doesn't make them a person. Right. Unless you're saying that the person, literally Person, the two words separated, unless you're saying that per son can be applied to anything that has a son per what they are. But I'm contending that that's not the intended use for the word. Much like kid is not meant to explain a man child or a woman child, is meant to explain a goat child. Just throwing that out there. The baby goat, the kid. So when someone doesn't understand these things and they don't get it, once again, it's all personal. How I see those things is personal. How I view them is personal. It's my time. So I don't have to see what you see. I could understand it, but I don't have to try to even make the perception. Just like nobody has to try to make that perception with me. That's not your job. That's not requisite to live. So I just don't see why people even act like that. But truth be told though, like that picture y'all seen of my young brother, Emmett Till, right? Rest in peace. Because he would have been an older brother. He'd have been, you know, uh, old enough to be most of our parent for sure, if not grandparent. You know, some people are young enough to even be a great grandparent. I just want y'all to realize that it's always personal. What happened to him was that wasn't nothing. There was nothing business about that. That was a personal thing. Right on. When somebody says it's not personal, it's just business. Once again, that's the implication that if anyone else was in this situation, the same thing would be happening to them. But how do I know that? I mean, what proof do you really have to validate that claim? Because maybe you're only doing this because I'm me and you feel like you can do this to me. Prime example is when people like let's say you work at a company, right? And they give everybody raises, okay? And you don't get a raise, but they give everybody else a raise. Okay. They can say that, well, we didn't have the money to give you a raise. They can come up with all these reasons. But at the end of the day, they actually owe you. Does that make sense? Because you're telling me that I'm doing the same work, or so and so, you're doing the same work that I'm doing. I got a raise, but you didn't get a raise, or you got a raise, but I didn't get a raise. And they're telling us that that's not personal. We've been there for the same amount of time. We do the same quality of work, everything. Our punctuality is the same, all of that. Our demeanor is the same, all of that. You're telling me it's not personal that you gave them a raise and I didn't get one. Barring the mention, I'm the owner's son-in-law. Barring the mention, you're the owner's son-in-law, daughter-in-law, whatever, right? You know, a nephew or niece, somebody of a closer relation. And so therefore you get the benefit of the doubt. Or maybe they skip you and then pay the other person because they don't know, or pay me because I don't know. Right. That's personal. That's personal. That's not business. And when people stop trying to change what is into something that it is not or it isn't, then we're going to finally start to see what it is. That they're trying to play everybody like a sucker. I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. How somebody in middle management who they're claiming cultivates these deals, but they don't really have to do anything. Y'all already have the account set. All they're doing is trying to close the deal. Follow me. How does this person, middle management, make more than the person who has to go do the physical groundwork once it's all been set and etched in stone? Right. But a person who works high up and will say, well, look, I sell stocks and bonds. I feel like because I'm dealing with this amount of money, I feel like my time is worth this much. Even though you don't always help people make money. You should have some kind of guarantee if you want to make money. Because let me tell you just like this. If you go into McDonald's right now and people talk shit about McDonald's, take your ass into McDonald's and serve somebody an uncooked burger. Let's see how long you stay there. Let's see if they don't just hit your ass with the Sandman, Apollo style, and come and shovel your ass up out of there, dust you right on off the stage. You gone. You gone. That's personal, homie. McDonald's took that as a personal hit. That wasn't business. That was a personal hit on their reputation. fuck is people talking about? But that's the kind of stuff that we have to deal with when nobody knows better. I mean, like nobody. I don't know better. Nobody knows better. Apparently, because I'm having to have this conversation. So we all don't, once again, that's why I said that collective consciousness is fake. Because here I am explaining something that everybody knows this. If you go to a job, once again, you have to guarantee your service to get paid. You have to. It's a must. If you go tearing stuff up, they will hold you accountable. You won't get paid. Right. And they can say, well, somebody can come back and shoot the place up and do this. But nigga, you was fucking shit up. Why should we pay you and you did $100,000 worth of damage and you talking about you gonna come shoot the place up over an $800 check? Then get the fuck out of here. Please, before we come see you. Right. That's that kind of action I'm talking about. When you go to McDonald's, so think about this. The average worker, let's say you work at McDonald's for 6 months and you make, I don't know, $1,500 a check. You're making $3,000 a month, right? For 6 months, that's $18,000. Do you think McDonald's made less than $18,000? Do you think they're breaking even? That's what I'm trying to say. You have to guarantee your service to get paid. It doesn't work that way for every single group and institution. So it has to be personal. They personally feel that because I have all this money around me, I would be stupid not to take more as opposed to giving myself less. Because the people that choose what you get paid are people that are working for somebody else, or they're directly are the ones who are saying, well, this is what it costs me, and this is what I can afford to give somebody. While it's okay for them to rake hand over fist come those times. Think about it like that for just a moment. If somebody charges you $100, right? Let's say you go to a place and you're getting a meal. For one person is $100. Guess what? When I put that $100 down and you put that $100 down, we're doing that because we need to know that I'm giving you this so that way you know that I'm not trying to rip you off. I don't want to just eat this plate of $100 worth or whatever and then dip out. So I'm paying. Now, most restaurants don't make you pay until you leave, but there's places where you put the reservation down, the stuff is already paid for. Everything is paid for. You won't even get in here until everything is paid up because I have to pay my people and I have to pay myself. It's personal. That's not business. Business is a personal thing. Can you dig that? Because everybody's not in business, so-called, but everybody is in the business of living. Believe that. I have yet to meet a person who is alive, who obviously, if they want to claim their own life, they can. But I'm saying if you're alive and well right now, or well enough to be living and breathing, okay, you're in the business of living. It's all personal. Everything. See, it's too bad that money isn't like food or drugs, where if you have too much of it, you'll just die. That's the unfortunate part of money, is that it don't work like that. But if it did, people would only want to have so much of it. Does that make sense? Right. Because money doesn't have you need it to the degree that I guess if you don't want to go to jail or prison or get killed or get maimed or have to kill somebody and be on the run forever, right? To go and buy things that you need or things that you desire, you have to have it. That's without a doubt. But to make me believe that without money I can't live, you're tripping. People don't understand. It's personal. Okay? It's personal. That $100 plate costs that much for a reason. Because personally, They feel that the service they're providing, it's not from a business. They can say business or whatever. Huh? So how do they decide that something that an animal produces, how do they put a value on that? Think about what I'm saying, like leather, for example, right? And you can think of the finest leather. Why is it that they want so much money for something that they don't actually produce themselves? They can say they go through the process of tanning it and skinning it and this, that, the other, and getting the dyes right. Who cares? All curing, all that. I don't care about none of that because they don't produce what it takes to make that. Right. They're not able to do that personally. But yet they want an exuberant fee for the so-called services. Is it really worth what they're asking for? Is their business that great? Or is it a personal endeavor to make money? Oh, come on, hear me now. Personally, I could probably realistically be 100,000 there right now just for the last years that I've been in this apartment. But I haven't made the decisions that would put me in that position because some of that means giving up the greatest parts of who I am as a person. And I'm not willing to do that. I could probably have a lot more money if I was willing to give up everything. When you have no scruples, see, once again, that's a personal thing. No one can tell you to lay on your back or bend over and take it. That's a personal decision. They can say that's a business decision. No, that's a personal decision. I'll give you guys a really great analogy. Dudes play football, right? Derrick Henry's coming up the middle. Jalen Ramsey, even though he's a tough dude in his own rights, is looking at. I'm talking about Derrick Henry has a full head of steam, and Jalen Ramsey does a side tackle as opposed to trying to tackle him head on. People can say, "Oh, that's a business decision he made." No, that was a personal decision because he might not be the same after that. Right? You can say business all you want. You can say, but I don't have business without my person. It's always your time, my brothers and sisters. Always. It's always my time. It is literally what they don't want you to think. Right on? See, the earth would still produce without you going out there and doing any work. It don't need you. But because you make yourself involved, the yield is controlled to a certain degree. The the stock of what you have is controlled to a certain degree. And so therefore, it's of your personal interest to go and to help the earth to cultivate the best parts of her produce, the best parts of the things that grow up out of the ground, i.e., the trees that produce fruit, and the herbs of the field and the herbs of the grass. So when you start to see things like that, you start to say, okay, I get it. It's personal. That's not business. Right on? I personally like potatoes. So I'm going to go out and create a patch where potatoes can grow more freely. Right. That makes perfect sense to me. All the sense in the world to me. I don't need anyone to break it down. See what I'm saying? Like, but if you don't have the good sense to know that what's business is business and what's personal is personal, as far as like it all being the same, you know what I'm saying? Uh, it's always going to be personal, even when you just separate them and you try to break it up, because you have to be someone is involved. And that's the issue that we're facing right now is that folks don't want to act like somebody's involved. They want to act like the shit is like I get that magic is real and people don't believe in magic. Okay, that's cool. But they literally act like it's magic though. So when you go to your favorite eatery, fuck it. When you go to your favorite grocery store, you think it's magic that that meat is in a package like that? You think the cow sliced itself up inside of its head, right? Got drained its own blood out and did all that other extra shit. Y'all skinned itself and all that. Y'all think that's how it works? Come on. It's a personal endeavor. But because we're taught not to think like that, we're taught to believe, oh man, as long as I do what I'm doing, right, then I'm good. You know, as long as I'm doing what I'm doing, then I'm good. Life is crazy. I'm in a situation where folks don't have to see it my way anymore. Pretty soon they'll come to their own conclusions and they'll be like, damn, bro, right. It's always personal. The murder of Emmett Till was a personal thing. It was not a business thing. That movie Till that's coming out, that's gonna lionize his mother, even though she was brave to show the earth what had been done to her son, they're gonna take away from the fact that the young boy didn't do nothing to nobody. They're gonna imply he said words that we don't know that he said. Unless you were there, how do you fuck do you know what he said? Whoopi Goldberg ought to be ashamed of herself. The woman playing Emmett Till's mother ought to be ashamed of herself. The people who put that money down for this movie ought to be ashamed of themselves. The parents who took their sons to audition as Emmett Till ought to be ashamed of themselves. No charges for any of those individuals for that situation. And that's not personal, that's business. Yet you can make money. They're gonna make I want y'all I want y'all to think about this. Emmett Till was viciously beaten and murdered. Head flattened, face disfigured. Literally, foobar. Okay? Okay, okay. Snafu, foobar, all that. And yet they want me and you to act like they're making a movie that they plan on making money on. Off of his death is okay. But he's dead. Do people even understand the significance of Emmett Till? Without Emmett Till, there's probably realistically no major movement for the civil rights. Even though all that other stuff had happened, Emmett Till was the straw that broke the camel's back. Literally, y'all. Okay? That is personal for me. When I look at that picture of Emmett Till, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, damn, this nigga look just like Meech. Word? This nigga look just like me. This is Meech. Word? This is literally me in a whole nother life. I'm looking at myself almost. I'm like, damn. And this is literally how I feel. It's personal for me. I'm looking at a picture of this young boy. I'm like, dude, this could have been you, Meech. You could have got killed like that. You could have got your whole face beat to nothing. And the movie's not going to accentuate the fact that all of his family in the South was cowards. Nope. Oh no. They gave the boy up. The whole clan should have got wiped out. Everybody who was down there should have got killed before they got to take little Emmett. But the same way they let Emmett get snatched out of that home is the same way they let white police officers come and take their children now. With no proof, no evidence, no nothing. Just the accusation and the allegation is enough. And you surrender your seed to someone that might do harm to them and feels as if they ought to do harm to them. This is the truth. Don't nobody want to hear that part. They always want to skip by the real shit. It's always personal. You know why Russia's talking about nukes and shit like that? Because it's personal right now. Word? You trying to destabilize my country? Bitch, we'll destabilize you guys first. That's why the money is fucked up everywhere. It's personal. It's beyond business. If it was all business, Russia, China, and America would all be getting along, all getting money, all like, man, fuck the people. That's how they would feel. That's how they would do it. That's not how they're moving, though. Right on? You guys might think they're all like, forget the people anyway, but I can tell you for a fact, that's not the case. It is killing me. But still, that's my thing is like, you can't try to make it what it's not. It's personal. Right? Russia took that shit with the highest offense that Ukraine wanted to be part of NATO. Now, here's the funniest thing. People say a lot of stuff. Guy thought what I was saying was fifth dimensional to him. He thought that was, I was talking to this dude. He thought what I was saying was super deep. I was like, well, he was talking about how many troops Russia done lost and this and this. And I was like, well, technically, they're smart because, now no one's on their border with tactical nukes. That was the whole point of NATO, trying to get Ukraine to be in NATO. Right on? You feel me? The whole thing with that was to get them joined up so that way they could send their tactical nukes and put them right there on the border of Russia. Russia would virtually have no chance to fire off any nuclear armament if it came to that. They'd have been already hit up. That's it. They're done. Just like that. Why the fuck would I let you guys do that? If we listen, if I'm the Russian government, if I'm the Kremlin, I'm like, nigga, we lost 15 million in fucking World War II. What is 80,000? What is a million dudes to lose to not get nuked? Come on, this is real. Let's keep it funky. So when you have people who don't even understand those kind of concepts, it tells you everything that you need to know because they don't get it. I'm gonna get right back to my man Emmett and this whole personal thing, but this is personal too because I feel like I've been the one telling them like, man, make this shit pop and just make it happen. Quit fucking around with it because that's where I'm at. That's where I feel. That's where I stand on it. Word. If y'all gonna make it pop, make it pop. If not, shut the fuck up. That's it. That's all. There is no in between. That's how it has to be. Because what's happening right now is you have people talking about, oh, the world economy and this, and this. I just read an article the other day talking about if China's economy continue to sink, the whole earth is going to go into a recession. Terrible one. But y'all think America's economy is the great. All these dudes' money is interwoven. It's personal. The Chinese are willing to crash the whole system. They don't care. Right. The Russians are willing to stand by and watch it all burn up. They don't care. As long as America's not top dog, it's personal, y'all. Why do businesses have corporate spies if it's not personal? If it's all business, why are there corporate spies? Riddle me that, Batman and Batwoman. Once again. But I'm supposed to believe that because one country said that because this other country can't do what the fuck they want to do on a whole other side of the earth, that this other country is a tyrannical monster because they want the balance of power to be right. Okay, if it's like that, let Russia put nukes on Canada's border or Mexico or both, or let China take Canada's border with nukes and let Russia take Mexico's border with nukes, and then you guys can put nukes wherever y'all want. As long as we can get y'all the same way you can get us, it's all good. But they don't want that. They want to be able to hit and not be hit. If that's not personal, I don't know what that is. In boxing, they call it the sweet science, the art of hitting someone and not being hit. Right on? That is, to me, not exactly, if you can say it's business, but to me, it seems like a personal thing. Right on? They'll never understand because they've been brainwashed. I was working with a guy who was telling me his heart was this big, right? His heart was extra, extra little, right? Grit size, right? But yet he was going to go get his teeth done. Because if he didn't, then because he didn't have any teeth in the back of his mouth, so he was getting some fake teeth put in. And what he was saying was that if he didn't do that, then that his dental health could overall eventually affect his overall body's health. Uh-oh. Oh, you're doing that because it's the medically sound thing to do, or because you personally want that done, or both. You see what I'm saying? You can't really try to tell me that you would do that for somebody else because you're doing it for you. Your heart is this little, right? So if you got a Grinch-sized heart and you're talking about, but it seems like it's this big for you. You mean your heart is this little for everybody else, right on? That's a personal thing. That's not business. These guys don't understand that. Just because I give somebody some money don't mean I won't give them the opposite of money. Word. Just because I give somebody some food don't mean I won't give them the opposite of food. Just because I give you some water don't mean I won't give you the opposite of water. Even though I shouldn't give you the opposite of any of the things that are righteous for you, I'm just trying to implant that idea into the heads of folks so that way they can understand like that all sounds good, but that's just not realistic. You get what I'm saying? That's not how it really works. That's not how it really goes. So I'm not going to rock with that and I'm not going to move with that. A lot of black people want to be mad at at all these situations that they see going on. Who are you? Right on? Who like it's like once again, who are you guys to get mad? It's personal, right? But who are you to get mad at somebody else's business? Word? You follow what I'm saying? Like, get this. If you don't like Walmart, don't shop there, right? If you don't like Walmart, listen, if you don't like Walmart, don't shop there. If you don't like McDonald's, don't buy their food. If you don't like Gucci, don't buy their clothes. Right on? But that's all a personal thing. You can say you don't have the money, that's still personal. That's on you because somebody else has the money to afford that. Right. They can say, oh, all these niggas are scared to make money and da da da. Man, that ain't the case. They're not personally in the situation that you are in. Because if they was in your situation, whatever you done did to get there, they could they could very well be saying the same thing. That's beer, by the way. Made in Tacoma, in the city that I reside in. It's all right. More water than beer, but still, it's good enough to drink. My point being this, that's a personal choice. I personally chose to buy four 16-ounce cans for 6.99. I can choose to do that. Somebody could say, well, there was a six pack that you could have got for 7.99. Okay, but 12 times six, I want to say, is 72, if I'm not mistaken. And 16 times four, right, is 64. So I get 8 ounces less, but I spend $1 less. You see what I'm saying? Uh for what would be not even a whole beer, right? Of a can, because a can beer is 12 ounces. I get, you see what I'm saying? I'm not getting ripped off. It's a personal thing, it's not business. If I want to get the most expensive beer in there, that's personal because I personally want that. That's what I desire. It has nothing to do with business. When folks start to understand that, they're going to be in a better space. But they're in a terrible space right now because they don't even get that. They're like, "Oh, what you mean, nigga? Uh, I'm making money, nigga. I'm seeing figures." Okay, but do you personally go out and give that money away to people who haven't worked for it, who don't deserve your money? Do you do that? No. Why not? Oh, that's bad business. What do you mean? How's that bad business? You never know if you're ever going to need one of these people. Right. You don't know. It's like buying a lottery ticket or something like that. You don't know if you're going to win or not. But on the chance that you do, you bought it. So it's no different than with people in real life or any other kind of interrelationship that you can cultivate and develop. The animals that are outside, right on? You don't know what they could do that could help save you. They're not stupid. They know who you are. There's certain crows or certain pigeons or certain squirrels or foxes that probably live by your home that know your face. They see your face and they know it. Right. Do you feed them? Do you take care of them? I don't know. Are they going to sound off or are they going to put themselves in the way? Not augury. This isn't augury now. This is straight up just a interrelationship. Are they going to put themselves in the way to let you know that you're in danger? Are they going to keep you from making a decision that would change your whole life just by getting in the way or just by making themselves known and not, I wouldn't say being a distraction, but uh, gaining your attention just for that moment? And that split second might be all it takes to keep you around or to keep you in one piece. It's not augury. That's not looking for an animal to be a sign. That's they took an actual action. They took action and they kept you alive, literally. Once again, do you personally try to cultivate those sort of relationships? Do you care to do things like that? I can't I can't make you think for you. It's all your time. You're on your time right now. All of this is your time. The last moment that I live on this earth will be my time, not anyone else's. They don't have to worry about expiring when I expire. See what I'm saying? It's always personal. Somebody gave my uncle and his wife some some bad dope, I think, laced with fentanyl, and they both died. It was a personal decision they made to do whatever they done. But whoever put the fentanyl in the other stuff, that was a personal decision. They could say that's business, but it cost somebody their life. Right, that's deep. That's real life, though. I'm just sharing something with y'all so that way y'all can really understand. Like I can relate. This happened this week. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no reason to front or to act stupid about it. I'm just telling y'all from what I know in my life. That's a those are two personal decisions, but one of them has a greater consequence. The one that had the greater consequence is to choose to be involved with vice in the first place. See what I'm saying? But the decision before it overshadows it. Now I couldn't imagine, because I don't obviously I've never smoked crack, so I couldn't fucking tell you what it's like to get high like that. But I couldn't imagine feeling a different high than the high that I'm used to, and then wondering if it's gonna go away. That's crazy. And then never waking up, going to the shadow realm just like that. That would be a personal decision that I would make. But once again, if people can't see it like that, then there's something wrong with it. Like they don't understand what's at stake here. They really don't. They have no idea the war we're in. And it's not some so little silly ass race war. You got way more in your hands than that. You got way more in your hands than that. This is the war between truly good and truly evil. Either side will do things to the other side that side does not find favorable. That's the idea of war, right on? Doing unfavorable things to an adversary. You don't always have to kill them for it to be unfavorable. You don't always have to physically harm them for it to be unfavorable. Right. You don't I'm talking about directly. Sabotaging somebody's food supply and water supply is gonna harm them. Even though you didn't directly put a gun on them and shoot and kill them, you killed them. Right. Right. That's the real. That is the real deal truth. But most people aren't even, they don't have the mind to look at it like that. So when I say things like, yo, my dude Putin, he's right for not wanting people on his border with tactical nukes. Niggas think I'm tripping. That's a personal decision he made to do what he did. You can get mad at me for that. You can get mad at him. But at the same time, would you let your neighbor live in your house right on with your door wide open? They're like, because I'm your neighbor, you're going to keep the door open for me at all times of the year, and I'm going to see what's going on in your house at all times. Matter of fact, I'm putting cameras in every room, bathroom included. Right. You would be like, fuck, man, who the fuck is you? And then you would go all the way to the hill to protect your shit. So look at it like that. Somebody was trying to invade these dudes' privacy and their sovereignty, and they weren't having it. You don't have to have it either. That's a personal thing. That's not business. Okay. You could talk about uh business in the aspect of if I lose my property and I have a bunch of cattle, right? Where are me and my cattle gonna go? Am I just gonna sell them all off for the dirt or now I can't get the same money I mean, I get all that, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You have to be personally invested in that. And then what risk won't you take at that point, at that moment? I'm just being real. I'm piffing on some good right now, right? Like I told y'all, I'm smoking this banana leaf. This is once again, this is personal. It's a personal choice that I do this. Word got nothing to do with nobody else. Why would I be worried about what somebody else thinks about me? What are they doing? Nothing but judging me. You better judge you better judge the traffic, nigga, before you judge me. Okay? You better judge that air quality before you judge me. Okay? It's real life. It's what I do. I ain't forcing nothing on nobody. I ain't telling y'all to roll up, light one up with me, and take a shot with me or none of that shit. I ain't telling you to do nothing. I'm me and you're you. And I appreciate you for being you. I love you for being you. Stand by that and stay on that. But that's just like if a nigga like Kanye wanna say wild, crazy, dumb shit, like niggas is feeling some type of way about the George Floyd shit. I'm not even like fuck George Floyd. I'm like, nigga, forget all that. Because before he said anything about George Floyd, he lied on King David. On Fox News. Beard and all. He had the nerve to get up there and say that King David, before he was a king, when he was fighting Goliath, wasn't confident and wasn't sure he could beat Goliath. But if you've actually read the scripture, that's a stark contrast. Okay? Dichotomy. There's a major dichotomy in what you said and what is written on those pages, player. Right on? Now, personally, I really don't care that you lied on TV. I care that you lied on King David. See what I'm saying? Word? That's what I took personal. I personally don't really feel nothing that you lied on George Floyd about him being high on fentanyl, whether he was or wasn't. And I care that you lied and tried to say that fentanyl killed him, as opposed to saying that it could have been a contributing factor. I could take that. I could take that. I could take you saying he was high on some shit and that didn't help his heart rate and it didn't help his breathing and all that shit. But I could easier say, let me put all 165, all 160 on your neck. I don't even weigh 200 pounds. Let me just put all my weight, applied pressure on somebody's neck. They could weigh 350. How long do you think they can take all my weight on that singular area on their body? Word? It's crazy. And then they want to stay on top of people like that for enormous amount of time, as opposed to them just manhandling his ass into the back of the car. Nope, you put your knee on his neck. Now, once again, Kanye tripping. But personally, though, that doesn't affect me. What does affect me is when you go on to say things about a man that's written in a book, right? That, okay, you're saying on one level that people chose slavery, but you didn't say how they chose slavery. You said because they didn't fight back, they chose it, as opposed to saying that we're the people out this book. We betrayed the creator of heaven and earth, and this is our punishment. Okay, they chose slavery on that level. I can rock with that. But you didn't even say that. You said some sideways shit. This is why it's like, I love Ye. I love Ye. Ye, Kanye, Mr. West. Okay? Son of Dunda. All right? I can't think of his father's name right now. All right? Right. I love him. That's my guy. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and act like that nigga wasn't on some other shit. Man, if you feel like Kanye sucks, that's on you. I can't I can't help that, change that, fix that. Kanye's my guy. That's my dude. I love Ye. That's my dude. But I'm saying though, if it's always personal, and it is, right? That's his personal feelings. Word? When he got mad about the business dealings, those were personal things, right? If y'all listen to the interview, the man was talking about how people whoever leaked whatever kind of information, leaked all the videos of this, and this, he's like, well, they'll come and they'll offer somebody like $30 million. He's like, but the thing is, though, is like the paparazzi, he's like, who am I to get mad when the paparazzi takes my picture all the time and puts it up and they don't pay me for it, right? You see what I'm saying? And he's like, and these are Jewish publishers, people who are behind the scenes and have all the influence. He was like, how many black record companies have a Jewish artist on it, but how many black artists are signed to Jewish people? He was just breaking it down, right? So you can say Kanye's crazy or Kanye sucks, but no disrespect. But when's the last time you sat in the room where everybody in the room is worth over 100 million? I haven't done that yet. You see what I'm saying? So I can only speculate from a personal point of view of this nigga's tripping because he says some shit that we all know to be untrue. Because Kanye wouldn't let anybody kneel on his neck. We already fucking know that. But that's not the issue. The issue is that it's a personal thing for him. And I'm saying that everybody has to realize that you think Kanye sucks. That's your personal view on it. And you might even have information that backs you up on the point of view that you have. It's still personal to you because it's not personal to me. My persons doesn't feel like he sucks. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's how that's it's almost great. Really, it's excellent that you said that because that allowed me to express the point in a much better and a more organic light. So now we're at a situation. Let me just get back to Russia real quick, right? Boom. We got a situation in Russia where you got people who are literally like, hey, look, personally, I can't go and fight for this cause because the people over there I'm related to, right on? Or we have blood ties with. I can't go over there and do that. I'm sorry. Okay. Russia's like, we get that. But if y'all don't go do something, we're going to take the white gloves off because America's sending these dudes weapons that they wouldn't normally even have. If Ukraine had to fight all by itself, how long do you think this conflict would have lasted? Think about that for a moment. Don't answer that. Don't answer it. Don't type it in. It's a rhetorical question. How long do you think this conflict would have lasted without one red penny of American money being sent to Ukraine? How many Russian tanks do they blow up? How many troops do they murder and kill? Right. Ask yourself those questions. You can say that's all business if you want. That's a personal question though. Do you think it would have lasted this long? And then we'll stop right there. And we get back to my baby boy Emmett Till. OG Emmett Till. But that's like me, like I told y'all. I said earlier, anybody who knows me knows I've said this in the years past. Anytime I see a picture of Emmett Till, I look at that and I'm like, man, that looks like me when I was younger. And I have pictures where I look like, and I don't have no top hat on, just talk about the facial structure, just how he looked from that angle. I'm like, man, that's me. That's me. They killed me, is how I feel like. Word? They broke and smushed my face open like that. And now you got a movie about me talking about how I said that some white woman looked like a movie star. Who the fuck was there to verify that? I take a personal offense to that movie. Me, Demetrius Antoine Jones. I take offense to the Emmett Till movie personally because I feel like ain't there hasn't been somebody to speak on the matter like that, like I have. They don't say that could have been me. They don't even relate to Emmett Till. They speak on him in an objective way, as if he's a means to an end. It's personal for me. Excuse me. What happened to Dr. King is personal for me. Right on? If a part of every black person didn't die when Dr. King was assassinated, they ain't really from the turf. If you're telling me right now you can think of Dr. King and you can get happy, you're not from the turf. Right on? When I think of him, I just get sad. I just be like, he was the most altruistic as far as actions are concerned. He was so selfless. He really was like, yo, I'd rather let these people kill me than to fight with these people because I know my people don't stand not a chance. Right. That sucked the hope out of people. And don't nobody want to talk about it. And they don't even want to touch on it because it right. But do they realize that Emmett Till is the reason for Dr. King in so many ways? See, for me, it's personal. It's personal for me. My father from Alabama, my mama from Mississippi. It's personal for me. You know how God worked? My son was born in Washington. He been in Carolina since he was like 3 years old, 4 years old. Word? Been over there for years now. East Coast, but it's still Southernish. Has that country. He needs that. Because I had it from both my parents. He needs that just directly. The Most High God is great. He's good. He's awesome. He's amazing. When I see pictures of Emmett Till, I get sad because I say that's me. They murdered me. They didn't kill uh Professor Black Truth when they killed Emmett Till. Right on? Probably don't look nothing like that boy. Probably his pictures don't probably resemble nothing like that. All the guys who claim to really love the people, they don't really love. They don't they don't even understand. Like I said, these are the same dudes who called Martin Luther King Martin Luther Coon. That's on their time though. It's all their time. So they have all the time in the world to do that. That's on them. Blessed be the Most High God because He gave me a mind to think for myself. He gave you a mind to think for yourself. That's how powerful He is. That He don't have to think for. He don't think for us. We think for ourselves. He says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts." Okay, okay. My ways are not your ways. I know it's your thoughts are not my thoughts. Your ways are not my ways. But I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like you. I don't move like y'all. That's what He's saying. That's personal. That's not a business move. That's personal. Right on. To as much as the Most High God can be related to as a person, that's personal to Him. Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with no business. That's all personal. Right. I'm gonna share space or share greatness with something that I created. The fuck out of here. That makes sense. See, again, that's basic. I can't give everybody all the game I got, but I can give them enough of it for them to understand and to keep realizing that this nigga's laced with some shit that other people just ain't laced with. My personal feelings lead to certain thoughts. Those thoughts lead to manifestation. Those manifestations I take from, I do my best to remember them, and I do my best to regurgitate to my people what is and what isn't at a certain point. Everybody wants you to feel like they know more about your life than you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants you to feel like they know they know more about you than you. You get what I mean? They don't. How do you know you how does somebody know you better than you know you? They don't. So the way that I feel, that's real to me. Can't nobody tell me nothing different. That's where I stand on that. They would allow for a menace to our people. Menaces to our people. Whom all admit, let me say it again, they all admit they have no plane, train, boat, or series of automobiles to transport what is considered illicit narcotics into the United States. Yet, for some odd reason, they all find themselves selling these same substances to individuals who look more like them than not. It's a personal decision. You can say it's a business decision, but it's personal. They personally decided to destroy the working class of our people. They personally decided to become the antithesis to hard work. They purposely decided on a personal level, not for business, personally decided and purposely decided. You know what? I don't owe my people anything, even though all I do is take from them. It's a decision that they made based on their personal feelings. You don't have business feelings. You only have you. If you could move your consciousness out of your body, sure, you could say it's not personal, but you can't do that. You can't take your soul and put it into another vessel. So everything must be personal. Before I rock and roll up out of here, I just had to say, like, it's aggravating and it's agitating to be in situations where more than just me, everybody sees that this is wrong. Like I said, Kanye did what he did for shock value. Shock value alone. Right on? He can say, I'm trying to lead the people, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Look, man, until you go for broke, you ain't doing shit. That's when I know you're doing it. Fucking your money up a little bit. What's that? Right on? Martin Luther King, nigga, that all those people didn't die with a bunch of money. They all died relatively what you would call poor, bro. None of them had any money. The greatest of their leaders that they can think of didn't die with pocketfuls of money. When you talk about Moses, Moses didn't die balling when he went up to that mountain. Moses died with whatever he had on his persons. It's probably nothing. Right. This is what y'all need to understand. When y'all talk about the Christ wasn't balling. He didn't have money out of control. Word? He died with very little. Word? Does that make sense? Can y'all hear me right now? Y'all can say we come from kings and queens. All that sounds fine and dandy, but you still need to put the actuality to it. There are individuals who you love, who, as far as I'm concerned, Adam didn't even know what money was when he died. And a bunch of those guys from the pre-flood era, they had no real idea what money was. So, at all intents and purposes, they died poor. Right? Do you think Noah was interested in hauling around gold and silver on the ark? Maybe, but I doubt it. All the natural minds would have been there afterwards anyway. Right? When he died, how much money do you think he had? He was trying to stimulate some thought. Right? What money does the Most High God need? I- He created the heavens and the earth. What money does he need? Right. So there's nothing admirable because you have a bunch of money. That doesn't make you special. That doesn't make you anything. All it does is it puts you in a position to be able to accrue earthly gains. It's a personal decision. You can't make it seem as if it's not like that. People want to get sad, mad. I just tell them to scratch their ass and get glad. That's what they can do for me because that's the truth. I'm gonna piff on my little joint right here, my little banana leaf blunt, a couple more times, and I'm about to just roll up out of here because my point is proven. I proved my point before I even opened my mouth. It's already bona fide, certified, verified, validated, okay, accredited, and all those things. I have nothing to prove to anybody. Nothing. That's a personal feeling, but it's also from personal achievements where I'm like, I never heard people saying things like this until I said it, and all of a sudden it became a thing. So personally, I don't have any business in the realm of business, right? Because my personal feelings, how I carry myself, I'm not made for business. I'm not made for the kind of business that people want. I'm the best and the worst thing for your business. Be the best worker that you ever had, and the worst thing that happened when I leave and get the fuck up out of there. So you're gonna have to try to replace all kinds of productivity, all kind of intellectual gain. I learn every day from people. If I don't learn from a person, I try to see a wild animal and observe their nature and learn something from them. Might stand and look at a crow for 5, 10 minutes just to see if I can learn something about how they interact. Once again, this is they pay people to do this kind of shit. They pay people to do things that I go out and do on my own. All on my own. I don't need nobody to give me no kind of money, no kind of motivation or nothing. Today I was walking, I seen a cat. The cat looked like it was up to no good. So it was scurrying back to his house. And I did the little and it turned and it looked. And I did it again and it looked and it just slowed down its whole movement because it realized you're not in trouble. But I believe that when it saw me, it registered that it was going to get into trouble, as if they weren't supposed to be out the house or be out the yard or, you know, because people, I mean, the animal can understand, but people tell their animals, their dog, their cat, the whatever, don't leave the yard. They tell them just like that. And they expect the animal to listen. Right. That's just real life. I've known people that have had dogs that didn't have no fence. What? I've known people like that. The animal is so well behaved, it knows not to get up and act stupid with other dogs. It knows not to be up here running around chasing squirrels, chasing cat. It just knows if I want to be outside hanging out, I better lay my ass right here and chill. Right on. I can get up and move and walk around a little bit, but I can't do too much because then, whoever is my caretaker, so to speak, they're going they're going they're going to shut it down. Right. But people don't even understand that's a basic little thing right there. That's basic. But people don't get that, like how you can communicate with anything. It don't matter what it is. Right? As long as it lives, it can be communicated with. But that's my personal take on things. I can't make you guys believe that you communicate or that you can communicate or get your point across to something that's not a person or even a sub person, right? Like, I can't force that on nobody. All I can do is tell you, like, look, I know what I'm talking about. I've been there, done that, got shirts for it. What they want to get sad, get mad. It's not my fault that they chose their life. That's a personal decision that they made to be in the business that they're in. That's a personal decision. Right on. I choose personally to not go after large sums of money. If I wanted to get paid, all I had to do was cut my hair, shave, throw on a monkey suit, and say what everybody else is saying. It's not that fucking hard to do. Really is. Really not that difficult. It's hella easy. All I could get paid in Washington State. I get paid out here. All I gotta do is go somewhere and act like I want to be a salesman. Upsell the hell out of some shit. I mean, upsell the fuck out of it. No one is some trash. No one is some garbage. and then come with all kind of reasons why you must have just got a faulty product, and we can try to replace it, and this and this and this, and go through that little spiel for a while until I get more customers and more people to pretty much drown out the money that we're going to have to use to try to keep these people happy, type of shit. Like, man, it ain't nothing. I know way more than I'm letting on, because that's a personal thing. I choose not to do that. If somebody chose personally to go out and they say, look, I'm going to be a brick mason and I'm going to make anywhere from 85 to 200 a year, depending on what my position is. And the guys who were the highest level up, some of those dudes are making millions, but those are guys that own the companies. But still, brick mason. If I choose that the work that I'm doing is suitable for me, what I get from that is what I get from that. But let's say I make so much and then I start to minimize and I start to diminish the struggle of people anyway, right? It kind of goes against whatever, anything good I may say, it's going to go against that. So I can't. And it's just like if I was hella broke and I didn't have no money and I was just sounding like a salty ass hater, I would sound just as stupid. So it's like you can't shit on niggas for not having nothing, and then at the same time you can't shit on niggas for having something. You got to understand that it's like, okay, they have what they have, but that's a personal decision. They're willing to stand by that, and they're willing to go to hell for what they have. That has to be I mean, that's the obvious thought. Everything you have, you must be willing to go to hell. Right? Everything I have up in here, unless I'm gonna throw it out and get rid of it, come that very moment, it has to be worth my soul. How can it not be? Right. If it's Once again, if you have it around, it has to be worth everything that you got. If you don't have anything, it's the same thing, right on? But you have nothing to take but your soul. So now they're really after that. This is why they don't mind when poor people die. You don't have nothing anyway. So nigga, the one thing you have that's actually worth something, we want to take that from you. Right. Now once again, it's not my move to think for nobody. It's all personal for everyone. It's always going to be your time. Everything is going to be on your time. When you realize that life is on your time, word, and that you're not on her time, you're not on lifetime. Okay, she's on your time because she knows that your time is limited. Okay, Father Time knows that your time is limited. Word, okay, he knows, right? He's like, I'm on their time. Well, I do things for them because I know I'm on their time. They right now when it's personal for Father Time, like, look, man, y'all on my time, bro. I gave all y'all that. And I'm just speaking to this so that way people can get what I'm saying. It's always going to be like that. It'll never ever be any different as far as that concept. It's always going to be your time. It'll never not be your time. It'll always be personal. It will never not be personal. You own the next moment and the moment after that until you don't own the moments anymore. This is a very y'all gonna hear, y'all gonna realize this is positive. This is all positive. You're in charge, brothers and sisters. That's what I'm saying. You are in charge. No one makes those decisions for you. Not me, not the next man, not anyone. Right on? God is so great, He lets you make your own decisions yourself. That said, I salute my people. I salute them again. I ask that may tomorrow be better than today, and may your next week be better than the one that just last. Be better than the last. the one that just passed. There we go. However, I feel so blessed just to be able to tell y'all, like, again, it seems basic, but people don't realize it. You are on your time, not anyone else's. And when you appreciate that this is all your time, then you will gain from it everything that you were meant to gain. Go with the Most High God because He walks with you.